I feel like infertility just feels like a dead end diagnosis where, like, especially if it's unexplained, like, oh, I had my hormones checked and I had, all the internal organs and glands checked and everything's fine. So it's just, unexplained infertility. And it just seems like that's it. But impaired fertility, I feel has it brings with it a sense of it being a temporary state that can be worked out of. And so I feel that it gives the connotation of hope, because our bodies were designed to heal and our bodies were designed to procreate. And so if we can figure out what is going on, what we're either putting in our body or our body is exposed to, or what our body needs that it isn't getting, then the body will have the tools to procreate and heal itself. And so I don't feel that infertility is a dead end diagnosis.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of health is always a verb. It's not a noun, in terms of a lot of the times too, with the people that I get on the Facebook with or do different types of content, and they're always DMing me like, how do I cure this? Or what's the main thing I need to fix this? And it kind of puts a little bit of shivers down my back in terms of, on the flip side too, it's just, you don't just fix it either. And you just don't diagnose it as a dead end diagnosis as well. So I love that you did that. And you also mentioned that imbalances in hormones isn't solely due to the endocrine system. So maybe we can explore that a little bit.
Absolutely. So the hormones, they are supposed to be produced and cleared and metabolized in a certain way. And so if there are imbalances, there is something causing the hormones to be out of balance. And oxidative stress plays a huge factor in that. And I think my mission after writing the book, like even before, but like it just became really clear that the world just needs to know what the term oxidative stress is. Because a lot of people just think stress is work stress, family stress, schedule stress. Maybe they might know about physical stress if they are, you hear about the athletes that just overtrain and then the women lose their periods and stuff like that. But really, especially with this modern world today, with the environmental stressors, all of these things, the physical stress, the emotional stress, the environmental stress, all of those impact our cells and our cellular health. And the first thing to go is the reproductive cells, because reproduction is not necessary to stay alive, for your personal body to stay alive. Yes, for our race, but, or the human race. So the body, I say, robs Peter to pay Paul, because it's saying, well, obviously now's not a good time to make a baby because we're under all this stress. So let's just steal from what we need from the processes that create the hormones to deal with the stressor.
Yeah, and I explain that a lot too, because it can get super complicated. And I have to give you like 2 thumbs up, because going through the outline of the book, and then as soon as you get into some of the more difficult concepts of oxidation and what happens with that, and how we rob Peter to pay Paul, and all of the dominoes that get impacted by that, is a daunting task for sure. But what one of the things that I like to say to people to keep it simple, and it kind of resonates after the cell danger responses, is just at the 30,000 view foot, if your supply and demand is not equal, you have to make some important decisions, right? I mean, if you're making less money than you're spending, or you have way more expenses in your life than income, then that's going to crash and burn pretty quick. And you're going to find out the hard way, what the implications of not being able to afford those additional luxuries. And that means you make some pretty important decisions. And really, it's the fundamental decisions, or the things that literally and metaphorically keep the lights on, right? You keep the lights on, you make sure you put food on the table, and that happens at the cellular level in our bodies. And it would make sense that, well, reproduction is not at the top. That's like, I don't need to go on a vacation to the Riviera when I can't keep the lights on. That's kind of the analogy, right? So
Yes.
Yeah. So with that being said, so oxidative stress obviously is the hallmark of what you teach in the book, but you get right into functional fertility. So why don't you let the listeners know what the functional fertility means?
So functional medicine and functional nutrition is definitely receiving a rise in awareness. And that is getting to the root cause of an issue or a health complaint, rather than just recommending a drug or a supplement for a condition. Let's find out why your body is presenting that condition in the first place. So using functional lab testing and genetics, as well as a very, very detailed intake and health history, we can really get an idea of the causes of the imbalance. And then we can do some targeted functional testing to identify exactly what's going on with the biochemistry in the body. And so functional fertility is a term, I didn't coin it, but it just totally encompasses everything that I talk about. So rather than just measuring hormone levels on a certain day of the month and then giving appropriate drugs to make those hormones stay within an optimal range, let's get to the root of why the hormones are out of balance in the first place. And then everything that involves fertility rather than just hormones is also thrown into that whole functional topic.
Hey there, I hope you're getting tremendous value out of our videos. If you are, make sure you like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your alert buttons, and then check out the description below, because I have a free masterclass that will teach you how to 10x your energy levels in the next 12 weeks and finally end your energy and exhaustion nightmare.